Yeah.
You know what I love about the recent GVG meta is that Aldor Peacekeeper is getting played all the time for tempo.
Hello.
This is something that didn't happen very often before. A lot of people played it as removal with Kodo and whatnot, but a lot of the time now you see just Aldor Peacekeeper falling down for the sake of getting tempo. It just does nothing else.
Yeah, I like it because, I mean, the Aldor is still a vanilla minion on 3-3, so it's not... its effect can be extremely strong, even against low-tier minions. But, I mean, I guess probably the reason why we didn't see it a lot before was because we didn't see Pally a lot, period. So
Yeah,
the
but
fact
we
that
saw
Paladin's
Control
back...
Paladin quite a bit. In tournaments, Paladin was still seen in Control variants, let's say against Warrior, but it wasn't like the most rampant thing, and now it's all over the place.
Yeah, but exactly. But if you're going in a control matchup, you don't really want to use Aldor just for tempo purposes if you have other plays available.
Yeah, most
But
definitely not.
now that Pally is actually decent against tempo decks, you can definitely use it to break the tempo of your opponent.
So looking at this board now, if you're Gnimsh, do you like do you know your juggler is gonna die probably at least to the Cogmaster, right? So that's the thing. So dropping it down here, are you thinking about the Mirror Entity follow-up? Like, what are you gonna give to your opponent? Because you have to assume that eventually that'll fall down. Paladin Shredder can't really be played right now into Mirror Entity, so I guess Gnimsh has to develop it as soon as possible. Because you can't hold it in your hand, because it's basically the biggest value you can give a mech mage.
Yeah, this is going to be when the scientist comes out and gets skills, it's going to be awkward. It's always awkward unless you have a keys in Mystic, but we haven't seen any in this tournament, so I don't think it's going to happen. And I guess Firebat's going to
Wow, this is an amazing turn for
for the
Firebat.
value. I mean, do you scientist and ping? Because even if the shredder chooses to get value, well, if Gnimsh chooses to get value with his shredder, trades in the scientist, you get the secret, so you still get insane tempo.
I guess you could play Mad Scientist Ping, or Mad Scientist... yeah, Mad Scientist Ping is better than Mad Scientist Frostbolt. Unless you attack the 2-1 with your Shredder, then Frostbolt, then Mad Scientist, but that's getting really, really weird.
Well, if
Yeah.
you attack into the 2-1 with your shredder, you can still play 2 minions, and then you're fine.
Yeah, that's pretty much what you'd have to want to do at this point, because Consecration won't kill anything outside of the Scientist, and you're perfectly fine with that, since that's something you want to see die as soon as possible. So it's really about playing a minion and the ping. I feel you're still getting maximum value out of that hero power nonetheless. And like if he attacks that 2-3 with his Shredder, he's you know shut down for a turn. You have all the time in the world to deal with it.
Not entirely sure why he chose to go with the
Choose a champion.
Chugger
Probably.
over the scientist.
Choose a champion. You want to freeze the opponent. That's my
Okay.
guess.
That makes sense.
Frostbolt ping or Spider Tank Frostbolt. You could trade your 2-1 into that 1-1 though. You see, now that I think of it, I feel like if you're wary of Quartermaster, a 3-3 here might not seem like much, but it does deal with maybe 2 minions on your board.
Yeah, it's a huge tempo swing for Gnimsh.
And yeah, I feel like
Mage
that's
has
the
a
case.
really hard time getting the board back once it's lost it. So Firebat is on a tightrope here. He really has to keep the board in the following turns because if he loses it, he won't be able to get back in the game, and then he'd be down 2-0 in this match, which would be extremely hard to come back from.
Yeah, I'm just not sure. You have to kill the Shredder in some way. If Consecration drops at any time, though, you're now in deep trouble. Lucky for him, Gnimsh has no Consecration inside, so he's gonna have to make it do with the Aldor Peacekeeper plays. He can't even get a really good Quartermaster yet. Next turn is a pretty decent turn for that. Hero Power Quartermaster. It's just a 3-3, but it's big enough to annoy a Mech Mage who doesn't have Flame Strikes and Blizzards.
Yeah, exactly, and this was a pretty big gamble from Firebat, hoping that Gnimsh didn't have Consecration. Gnimsh didn't have it, but I feel like this Aldor is actually even better because it puts minions on the board.
Ooh, ouch.
Okay,
I am.
this is
You know what? I
this is the
like
turn.
Firebat's decision to keep Snowchugger until he could get the Blast Mage, because I've been wondering, you know, why play Snowchugger? Why keep Snowchugger? And the answer is obviously because I need my Blast Mage to hit someday, and this is the perfect time to do so.
Okay,
Now,
gets the
nothing Gnimsh
secret.
plays is
This
going to be
is
good for him.
excellent. Get the secret. I guess he's gonna kill the 1/1 because he doesn't want Quartermaster to actually get value because it's both a bad mirror entity target and gives a 3/3, but
Then
looks
again, what
like
is he going to
what's no
kill with it?
face.
Right, he's going to kill your 2/3, and then freezes his 3/3. But then again, I mean, all Firebat has at that point is a 2/5, a 5/4, a Frostbolt, and a Shredder. I guess that's still not that bad, right? Because you can still play. I mean, that Shredder and that 5/4 are going to get you a lot of damage potential.
Mm-hmm.
I really like the idea of a. Oh wait, are you afraid of fireballs so much so that you're going to equality?
I
Equality
mean,
Quartermaster, trade the 2/3 into the
you have
5/4.
two equalities. No, you hero power hero power Quartermaster. Then you get 2/3/3s. You can kill a 2/1. You can kill a 2/3. There's only a 5/4 and a 2/5 on the board.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
you
but
go
you have
down
no
to
healing,
10.
so you have to get. Oh,
You
you've
go.
got Tyrion, so I guess
You don't
double
have healing,
fireball is
but
the
you have
only
Tyrion.
threatening
Yeah,
thing.
you have Tyrion, and next turn you're in a pretty good spot to clear the board. If Firebat doesn't ping your Berserker, it clears anything. So Firebat's effectively on 5 mana next turn.
Quickly, to arms, men!
Alright, so the 2/5 goes to Firebat here, who's going to be able to get a little bit of value out of it. But see, this
And
equality,
then-
I feel, is pretty good. This is exactly the play that I
No.
expected.
Oh,
I feel
okay.
like he needs to kill that 5/4. The amount
Okay.
of damage it deals is pretty high. Although now, Firebat is curving perfectly. And there is no end to the threat. True Server Champion is dead. I can't assume a Consecration is there.
Well, there's Tyrion, and then now a Belcher the following turn. So there is hope for Gnimsh, because 13 HP isn't too bad. You shouldn't get bursted unless Firebat finds Antonidas.
Yeah, Antonidas is the only thing that could really put you in a terrible spot.
Yeah, and he's gonna have one spare part and currently has a Frostbolt. Gnimsh doesn't know it's a Frostbolt, but if he can force Firebat to use this Frostbolt on a minion, then that would mean one less Fireball.
Honestly, I don't even know what this Tyrion is doing here. It does nothing. It feels kind of like, I mean, you're throwing it in the way, but
Clears the
I
board.
don't think. Yeah, it clears 2 minions.
Yeah, that's the start.
Not even 2. If he Frostbolts it and then use the 4/3, he's left with 3. You still haven't found Consec? I mean, it is a decent minion. I just don't think it's.
Would you have rather played the Belcher?
7 effective health tanked. You're gonna get it out anyway, so that's not really a problem. Oh, the worst
Wow.
outcome here for
This is
Firebat.
super bad for Firebat.
This is the worst thing he could have gotten here. And he's not even gonna wait for Archmage for that spare part. He's just gonna go all in Frostbolt face and wait for Gnimsh to get nothing. Fireball is a top deck that wins.
Yeah.
And Gnimsh is gonna at least have his Belcher here.
Yeah,
Firebat
and
can clear
a
the
Shredder,
board,
so
but that's about it.
Gnimsh has the board. If Firebat doesn't top deck Fireball before Gnimsh gets his heal bot or his lay on hands, this is Gnimsh's game.
Yeah,
It's
I feel
really,
like
it's a race of who can draw the decisive card first.
yeah, of course. But the thing is, Firebat is gonna be waiting. Right now, he's not really afraid of not top decking. If Gnimsh had healing, he would have used it. I guess now True Server Champion also puts Gnimsh out of range of lethal though. So there are about 3 to 4 outs in the deck at the moment. He's gonna be able to ping face in this case. Do you Whirling Blades your parrot to ping face, or do you just wait for Antonidas this time around and sacrifice your parrot with a ping?
You have to sacrifice the parrot anyways, so like this 1 damage won't matter.
Doesn't do anything, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. Like pinging face doesn't accomplish anything.
The only thing. No, not even. Even if Gnimsh gets True Silver, then you don't have lethal anyways. Even if you ping this turn and next turn, so
Yeah. No, it doesn't. You would still have lethal regardless with Fireball
Yeah.
if he doesn't get it, and if he gets it, then you're not any closer.
So I
What
guess here
about...
Gnimsh plays both his minions, kills the 2/2, and tries to never give him a good unit later. Like if he gets healing, then he plays a heal. But I don't feel like he can afford to give any minion this turn to Firebat.
That belongs in a museum. To arms, men!
Okay, and so does Gnimsh.
Alright, so Gnimsh just going to save up. Obviously, doesn't want to take damage. Oh,
and
goodness.
okay.
That is a good card for Firebat, giving him
This
an
is
out
excellent.
here. An excellent card. It's contesting the board just enough that Firebat will be able to
Yeah.
threaten. Oh, Firebat not pinging that 4-1 first. Good. Okay, if
Okay.
it had been a Doomsayer, it would have been kind of funny to
This
me.
is the draw.
Yeah, and I mean that mirror entity is gonna get 0 value unless Firebat teched counterspells and we're suddenly living in some alternate universe.
But then, you don't know what this bar part is.
Gnimsh doesn't know what it is, but it doesn't really matter because regardless, it's gonna get value off of Antonidas. Even if it's Time Rewinder, he's still gonna use an Archmage. So it's ultimately not really a matter of knowing the spur part is. It doesn't do anything. Like you have to kill those minions, and you'll be able to do it with what you've got. Anytime Firebat gets a Fireball, you still lose. So you're 2 turns away from winning. You have like Firebat has 2 top decks to get Fireball, and Gnimsh has
With
no. He has to trade.
Oh, his 1/1's gonna get pinged. So yeah,
No,
he's
he's got to
one off
trade
next
here.
turn.
He'll be 2 off, in fact.
Well, I guess you can leave the mech alive because
You're dead to
Fire-
Frostbolts though, and the Whirling Blades.
well, he doesn't know that the spare part's whirling blade. That's the thing. But if you
So
don't know
you
what
feel
the
like
spare
just going
part
for the
is-
1-turn clock is just that much safer?
Well, it
I
would've
don't
been-
feel like it is. Okay.
Well, since he drew Antonidas, that's gonna make a big difference because now he needs healing or lethal.
Yeah, he's 1 off of lethal, and he hasn't found it. That is good game here. Firebat's gonna take it. He had 3 outs left in his deck, right? He had 2 Fireballs and 1 Archmage here to give him the win. He top decked for about 4 turns straight. And Gnimsh not finding anti-heal bot, lay on hands. Nothing was found for healing, not even a choice over champion. So I feel like Gnimsh deserved to get a healing source because that would have actually put him way out of range. He had like many more outs than Firebat, I think by 2. So that gives him a little bit better of a chance against Mech Mage. But now Firebat's gonna take it.
But then if he didn't kill the Mano Wraith last turn, the Mech Warper, he would have had lethal this turn. That made a pretty big difference. Because like there's only Frostbolt that would have been lethal, and only because Firebat had a Whirling Blade.
Yep.
Otherwise
I
killing.
think ultimately, yeah, killing the Mech Warper was what prevented Gnimsh from winning. But letting that Mech Warper live when Blast Mage could come around and trade into your stuff could have been a bit of a problem, I guess.